So I have to cancel the singles event that I planned to be on my farm this weekend.
Incredible!
Y'all know I'm an event planner and I have a fish farm, and I advertised a Fishing for Love event where
We do not care.
singles could come here and fish and have dinner and meet each other in person, not on a dating app. And 5 women RSVP'd yes, and 1 man. And even the 1 man that did RSVP did it through one of the ladies. Now, I did all of my marketing specifically towards men because I knew that the women would RSVP. I promoted the event on 45 different Facebook groups.
What?
Specifically about hunting, fishing, camping, country life, and all local to my area. I know that my post reached over 12,000 people specific to the age group, the gender, and the interests that I just described. And yet, no man RSVP'd. So let's talk about why men are not RSVPing and attending these singles meetings.
That's right. Singles events are struggling all across the US. These used to be successful ways for men and women to get to know each other. Singles events were a big deal back in the day. These singles mixers usually had an equal turnout of men to women. And the way it would work is that you would usually get 5 minutes with each partner to determine if you were a match. It was kind of like a real-life Tinder, but instead of swiping, you would have a conversation. But like most things related to dating today, it's deteriorated rapidly with the rise of modern feminism. Modern women have become a shadow of their former selves. The average modern woman is an insufferable person who you'll barely be able to tolerate in a conversation, let alone a relationship. So single women are desperately trying to arrange singles events in an attempt to find a beta to provide for them. Online dating hasn't worked. Nobody's approaching these women anymore. They're getting lonely and desperate. This is getting worse and worse, and the fact that they are resurrecting an ancient and outdated event like a singles event to try to get men to date them is almost laughable. But before we go any deeper into the video, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to G Smolin or GS Smolin 2, who said, "You are not an emotionally mature man. An emotionally mature man will not be crying about being alone. He has been that way his whole life. It's just business as usual." And you guys in the comments ran up the like button on this, so I had to give it a shout out. That's the way the man's life is, and you put it well by saying that's just business as usual. So please just reach out to my email to claim your $5. As always, I'm going to pick one comment from each video. It could be the funniest, the most liked, or one that just really stuck out to me. So leave a comment and you could be the next winner. So be sure to hit that like and sub button as it helps me out a lot. So now, let's get back to the video.
Embrace your masculinity.
I do not go to those mixers anymore. When you go, it ends up being nothing but women. And to those men that like to say you can't find women, you can't approach women, you know, they're there at these mixers. It's a beautiful, successful women who are making a conscious effort to put themselves out there to meet someone. And before you start hating, oh, there's just a bunch of women that can't find nobody. And there's a lot of people out there that can't find anybody. Young, old, black, white, rich, poor. These women are actively putting in the work to make themselves available.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
You really don't even have to spend money at these events. Fellas, start signing up for these events. Start going to these events. I like these events because it makes it easy to approach someone, and it makes it easy for someone to approach you. Classic stuff. Putting this out there because I want to start going to them again.
And do you know what's happening at these singles events? Men aren't showing up. Because the fact is, the problems that affect modern society, which have ruined the dating market, won't be fixed by a few bizarre fishing-based singles events. The problem goes far deeper than that. But what I find interesting is that modern women will do just about anything to avoid taking some responsibility and accepting accountability. They will literally go to the trouble of putting on a series of singles events that only desperate women would attend, but will flat out refuse to ask why they are so undateable. Take a look at this woman's post on Reddit. She can't wrap her head around it at all. Where are the men at planned events? So this has come up a few times among different friends in recent weeks. We all know it is great to meet people while doing things you already enjoy, but we never see many men out and about at events. A few weeks ago, I went on a bar crawl / fundraiser. There were around 40 participants, all women, save 2 men. One came with a partner. The other guy cleaned up. He had his pick of the entire crowd to flirt with. And he did. Talked to everyone and picked some favorites. A few weeks ago, a hip coffee shop had a speed dating event, open to all genders and sexual orientations. I saw the photos on their Instagram. In a crowd of around 50 folks, I saw 2 men. This week, I went to a concert in a mid-sized venue, Masego. While R&B concerts tend to skew female, it seems Masego is equally popular with men and women. This crowd, 75% women, and I didn't see any men not in a couple. Obviously, I didn't see everyone. I'm sure there must have been some somewhere, but the section I was in, seated general admission, was overwhelmingly female. Men are saying no to modern women more and more, and I couldn't be more proud of them for it. No, we don't want to show up to your ridiculous event just so we can be judged the second we show up. Ladies, your standards are ridiculously delusional. You resent men for being men. You are combative, argumentative, and bitter. You have subscribed to an ideology which inherently tells men they are oppressive, tyrannical, patriarchal, and toxic just for existing. How can you possibly expect men to show up to your event? Why should they? Why would any man with an act of self-respect show up to an event like this after the way men have been treated over the past few decades? I can't even begin to describe how tone-deaf you have to be as a woman to be surprised by the poor turnout of your events. People online are speculating, throwing their 2 cents into the hat, offering their opinions. And yes, the feminists are turning up in droves behind their keyboards, bashing men yet again. Non-consent attracts them more than a consenting space. Why would men meet us halfway when they can approach us when we can't escape, one woman sarcastically said, like when we are at work or pumping gas. Happened to me Monday. If men aren't breaking a woman's boundaries, it doesn't feel right to him, another claimed. Can you believe the level of man-hating in these comments? These women should have saved their breath and called all men rapists. It would have gotten to the point much quicker. But perhaps the best comment I've found is one of the most articulate comments I've ever come across. This user successfully sums up the whole ridiculous situation from the perspective of men. I'm just going to read you the comment because it's absolutely golden. In the comment, he's responding to the online drama about the lack of attendance at a singles event which went viral on TikTok.
Went to a singles mixer, and only women showed up.
If we could be honest and rebrand singles events as the truth, which is a perfect place to meet your brand new platonic best friend. Men don't go to these. Men do not go to singles events. Stop paying money to go to singles events. Men don't go.
This video sparked a huge online debate, and even the owner of the venue came out in support of feminism in true simpy fashion. But anyway, here's what this anonymous Redditor had to say. The most accurate analysis is that it was most likely marketed wrong and was absolutely negatively marketed to men. But let's look at it from a male perspective and not a female one. All these women are most likely feminists and dislike men. They even got their head white knight cheerleaders spout man-hating talking points about patriarchy. Ignoring that by default, it's assumed every woman at this event is hate-filled. What else are men analyzing? There was a claim in a comment that the women seemed desperate, which is the only analysis a man can actually reach, as rude as it seems. What is being blatantly communicated at this event is these women are so disliked by their male and female friends, family members, coworkers, Tinder, local bars, clubs, etc. They've burned through any possible mates in their social group. They're that horrible. Okay, let me jump in here. Not only is this guy as cold as ice, he's also 100% right. Exactly what kind of women do you expect to find at a singles event? In all likelihood, you'll be presented with a string of the worst quality women in society. The women who are going to a singles event are openly broadcasting that they have been rejected by everyone else in their lives so far. And because men aren't idiots, they can't help but ask why these women are still single. The truth is, there's a reason or multiple reasons why. But let's continue with the comment. They literally cannot find a single man and no one in real life is interested in helping them. They're that terrible. Now, while I personally may like desperate lonely women, most guys don't. They see a horde of women clattering in their high heels trying to find a beta to give them money. Women who don't date women have absolutely no clue just how expensive dating women is. Women like to go on and on about spending money on makeup and clothes as if they weren't already buying this stuff for multiple men and their daily lives anyway. Women don't spend on attracting men. They spend on attracting all top-tier men. If a man somehow benefits from a particular shade of lipstick, so does everyone else. He wasn't the target in the first place. As a man, you're just another stripper on the pole. This really does sum up a big part of the problem. Men realize that they aren't special. Men have intentionally gone out of their way to belittle and attack men at every opportunity. The game women play has been exposed for all men to see. And now we realize that to most women, they're nothing but a walking ATM. Women don't date for love. They go into business. Any smart man in today's society will realize that. And frankly, avoid singles events like the plague. The only women you can expect to find there are barren wastelands, dried up, used up, and abandoned years ago because it was a pain for men to be there. Let's continue with the comment because it gets better. Men have to pay and pay. And TBH, women literally price themselves out of the market in the literal dollars and cents sense. Not in a metaphorical sense as it's usually meant. Women don't date women, so they don't get exactly how they act these days. Now women's responses are ad hominem attacks against poor men, as is commonly done, or just straight out, "You can't afford me, you're dusty," or such statements. For non-hypergamous women, they sure have many class warfare issues. Go date ladies then. Sounds like women have lots of mixers with all women. Dating should be easy and you won't have to deal with the men you hate. After all, women are wonderful to date, right? They're the whole table, I'm told. So women are extremely expensive to date, and it has zero to do with a man's income level, as the expectations grow with his wealth level. Can't just get ice cream in the park. Now it's flights to Cancun and not off season. Otherwise, he's dusty because he makes 6 figures, and he's so cheap. Then of course, there's the sheer hatred issue. Nothing but insults and attacks, which every woman there would do. And since women never date women, they've never been through the job interview. Based on the age and gross tonnage of the women, you know the entire 5-minute conversation will be about money, job titles, visual scans for wealth markers. Yes, I'll have another gold leaf martini on his tab, etc. And we're not counting how many women are there for attention, getting dressed up, and free drinks like any other ladies' night where men foot the bill and spend money. They have no intention of dating anyone or giving a real phone number, just like any other environment. This isn't a safe space. No male is going to believe that nonsense. Women have been shown to destroy safe spaces for men. And yes, all women do this. No different than a man checking out a woman's tits. Women go for the money. Don't believe me? Go date some. So you have poor marketing with the assumption it's money spent. Gotta charge men high rates to eliminate the dusty ones. Get hate-filled women looking for a beta to exploit. Has zero interest in a fun, carefree relationship. Not even one that isn't primarily about sex. It's commitment and marriage to a large shrew who will start disrespecting you before the ink dries on the license. Now ignore if any of that is true or false or whether you agree. It's what a lot of men think will go on at this event. Dating isn't new. We've seen the rejections and disrespect and desires for money. Alternatively, men can play Xbox, smoke weed, hang out with the bros, maybe swipe on Tinder for the lulz, go to bed early, and hit the gym in the AM. So what would be the point of going to such a thing? I'm not even sure what good male marketing would be. I can't imagine any enticement for men to show up. Why should men show up if there's not an actual reason? Just to lend all their money on alcohol for a ton of thirsty women? It's just another free ladies' night that somehow costs me hundreds while she doesn't spend a dime. This guy should drop the mic if he hadn't already. He touched on an amazing point, which is 100% true. This event is most likely going to be another example where men are bled dry of their hard-earned cash while women don't have to spend a penny. A singles event is literally another example of female privilege. I wouldn't be surprised if men were the ones who were forced to pay the most just to be there. And this is the symptomatic of the entitlement that modern women embody. You see, modern women believe that they are all 10s when in actual fact they are most likely 6s at best. I guarantee you that the mindset of most of the women at the singles event was that they were the queen. They didn't need to bring anything to the table because they're the table. Men should be happy to get the opportunity to meet a woman like her. It doesn't matter that he has to pay hundreds of dollars to do it. In her mind, she's still doing him a favor by allowing him to be in her company for 5 minutes. Instagram has successfully convinced these modern women that they are worth far more on the dating market than they actually are. All they have to do is show some flesh and thousands of men will like her posts and slide into her DMs. This isn't because she's actually valuable. It's because we live in a society full of weak simps who are more than willing to pay an OnlyFans model thousands of dollars a month for a few feet pics. Thirsty, desperate, and weak men provide for these women without anything in return. These are the men who are giving these women an inflated sense of their own value, and I don't respect them at all for it. Nobody is surprised that men won't attend singles events. It's just another unsurprising symptom of the toxic dating market feminism created. Congratulations, ladies. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.